Hey, what's up, everybody? So we're getting a bit of a pullback this Saturday morning. It looks to me like everything is down, right? We got TIA down 5%, NEAR down almost 5%, XDC down 1%, Engine down 7+%, Theta down nearly 5, SHIB 4, XLM 4, XRP 1.25. Flow down. I mean, you see what's going on here. So what does this mean? What's going on? Well, if we look at the chart, well, look at Link. Link is up 3.5%. Link is looking okay. Bitcoin is looking okay. Nothing going on over there. We'll go back to it. CRV actually took a dump. Actually, CRV looks kind of interesting. Maybe a potential buy because you had 1, 2, 3, 4, or actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Yeah, basically you built a little bit of a base here. You broke out. You came 1, 2, and it looks like you're getting 3, 4, and 5 somewhere around in here. Let's see if we hold. I'd like to see us hold in here and then get a retrace, at least a retrace. Let's look at theta. So when we look at theta and we zoom out, we can finally see a clear three-wave structure, right? Because we had, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your A, right? Then we had A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. There's your B, right? And now it appears like we're getting 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we get 5 for a C, right? So we have our impulse, and now we have, it appears to be an expanded flat for a wave 2. So I think we're in a good spot here. I think this is good. It's going to be about once this wave finishes. Now we can rule out, obviously it getting through the retracements, getting, a cup and handle. But this is what I like to see, because now it gives me more confidence in what this is, right? We're still not out of the woods yet. We got to wait for this. I want to see some divergence. I want to see a base. I want to see it start to come back up. If we can get that, then the confidence in this being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, A, B, C, 2, the confidence in getting that third wave dramatically goes up. Because, I mean, you could just look at the shape. I mean, you got a perfect shape there. So let's see if it materializes into something useful. So, CFX, we also have a sort of a three-wave shape. It doesn't, I mean, look at the size of that. Look at the size of that. It doesn't look completely finished yet, but I mean, technically you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and then also you're essentially back down in that area, just about. XRP, totally different, totally different. So XRP, man, it's tough because now we have 3 down, and you want this to be a 1, 2, and then you want this to continue right higher, obviously. Let's start with the bearish idea. The bearish idea would be 3 down, right? And then this is 3 up, but it kind of doesn't look finished, doesn't look proportional. And then you would get 3 back down and then continue. So WXY, continue. Another idea is that this is a 1 and this is a flat. So 1, that's a 2. And then we have another 1 and this is a 2. But we can't break that low. And then we want to continue higher. It is Saturday, so I'm wondering, you know, Sundays, Saturdays, volume seems to shrivel up. So, you know, I mean, we're still really good with XRP. There's still, if we start breaking below 223, basically below that line, then I'm going to change my tune. But as long as we're above that line, and not even that, but being above 228 as well, being above this line. So we want to be above this zone to stay bullish, and we're really close to it. So I want to get this. I really want to see this thing get going here soon. Otherwise, we risk it being a more complicated correction, something like this, where it just basically all of that, we're going to have to go through all of that again, right? And I don't know about you, but to me, it takes more time, right? I mean, we've only been correcting just a little while, but it feels like it's been a long time. That's because when you get a lot of momentum, you know, like let's say you run around, you're running on the treadmill or whatever, or you're bicycling, and then you get off, your heart rate is still pumping here. So it's still like, you know, you're ready to continue, right? Because you've already relaxed and you're ready to continue, versus when you're sleeping like a baby and then your alarm goes off and it's hard to get up. But then once you get up, it's hard to go back to sleep, right? So that, you know, it's kind of like that. And so I like this. I like this a lot. Look at this. I like that. That's what we want. So let's talk about, we got a little bit of a trend line here. Seems to be. We're not quite there yet, though. Yeah, so, I mean, there's your trend line. So as long as we stay above that, we're also doing very well, you know. So if I put another one here, go like that, I want to see us get back up to here, around 260. 260 to me is the level to be at, because that's right at that. Actually, it would be 265. Yeah, 265. So can we hit 265 next week? We'll see. So I took this screenshot, or paused it. This is BCB's sort of outlook on what he thinks the market's going to do, or what he, you know, kind of like a little speculative drawing. It's very risky to do these drawings because, I mean, 9.5 times out of 10, they just don't work out, you know. But a lot of times, you know, they'll look a certain way. It might be a little bit different, but essentially it'll be, you know, pretty much the same. So yeah, I just wanted to show that that's what he thinks. And then also, this is what he's thinking for XRP. All right. So I don't really know why he came up with that. I mean, it's a little bit weird, but I thought I'd show it just to show it. I mean, maybe he's right, but I will disagree with that. I mean, yes, I think we can come back down, but it kind of doesn't make sense to me. It makes more sense to me if we have this comes like this, and then we come back down, and then we go do this move here, come back down, and then go. So it's a little bit different. So if we look, that's where we were yesterday, and this is where we are today. And you can see we actually had our first move down. So so far, it's been right. It's only one move, but if that move is going to play, then we should see something like where we come up, right? And then we work our way down. So for example, let me actually use, we'll come up, we'll come down, and yeah, kind of like that, work your way down. I mean, this is his drawing. I'm trying to understand. I didn't really understand why he thought that. I mean, obviously he was comparing it to Bitcoin, but to me, Bitcoin doesn't look like that. It looks different. And if Bitcoin's going to continue higher, I just don't see XRP coming back down to the lows. But if it does come back down to the lows, then I would imagine Bitcoin kind of not breaking out, continuing to consolidate. But then he has it continuing. So essentially what it is an impulse, a three-way pullback, and then you have a 1, and then you come all the way back down for a 2, get everybody scared, and then continue. Yeah, I guess it does make sense from that perspective. So we'll see if it plays. My perspective is, let's wait and see what happens. Let's watch. If we break this trend line, then we can give it a little bit more confidence. If we break this, right? Because we're sort of, I kind of like where we are. The reason why is because when you look, for example, like at Bitcoin here, we're going to check out Theta in just a moment. Let's go down to like the 12-hour chart. And let's see if there's a good example right here. That's not so much of a good example, but essentially you pull back, right? And then you pump, and then you start flagging out in an upward, sort of like that, right? So you pump up, you flag out, and then you continue, and then you continue. Here's another example here where we sort of, pull back, we pump, play around a little bit. So it's always that first pump, the first pump. Then you do this, then you continue. So, all right, let's get rid of all of that. Put that back there. So look at that. We're back above 240. I like it. Okay, let's look at the small time frames. That's a tough one because you want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if this comes up and breaks the high, it could still be a 5. But if it gets somewhere, if it starts to breach that 50% level, then no longer a 4. Right? So this is no longer going to be a 4. So just going to have to track it. We really need to break that high. Otherwise, it's just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Theta. Now Theta kind of got a little bit of a double bottom there. Again, it doesn't look finished. I mean, you kind of got, well, let's zoom out first. Yeah, so this is what we were expecting. What was that? Well, you get a 3-wave pullback, you get a big dump, a big liquidation, and then what do we say? We want to get away from the scene of the crime. So we go up, and now we're going sideways, right? We want to sort of get away, and then go. That's kind of how I like to talk about, corrections in that kind of sense. But let's look a little bit closer. Oh, perfect. Look at this, guys. So we have an impulse. Obviously, we got our expanded flat. We shoot up in a 1, and then look at this. A, B, C. Perfect. Perfect. Now, we could get a little bit lower, right? And to show you more detail here, this is a did we break the low? Yeah, that's an expanded flat. So A, B, C. Right, and it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and actually take this low out, that liquidity, and then sort of continue, and it would still be just as bullish. So there you go. That's basically it. We got a 5-wave move. 1, 2, right? 3, 4, 5. And then you have this. You have this. And now let's come back down to this. So if we take a trend-based extension from here to there, back up to here, you can see we haven't quite made it to the 1-to-1. That's the problem. And that makes also sense because you would get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then hit that 1-to-1. So if we get down here, that would be a nice dollar cost averaging area for me. Not financial advice, but that could be a little spot there that would make sense. Now, if it wants to be a little nasty about it, it could actually get back down to here as well. How do you know which ones are going to be? Well, we have to see how it reacts right in this area. Nobody's got a crystal ball. Nobody has, nobody can tell the future. So we have to track it. It's all about tracking. Yeah, same thing. You got an impulse. You got a 3-way pullback. Looking at near. So they're all giving me the same kind of vibes. Now, Thea doesn't look that good. There's no oscillation. Boom, boom, boom. It's just kind of like, bah, 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 bah. Bottlenecking. And a lot of times that could lead to a big dump. So be careful with that. So which one's telling the story, We're developing the 3-wave shape. I just don't think this leg is finished yet. Looking at AVAX, ICP. Okay, so ICP, kind of like a descending triangle here. Let's see, did we meet the measured move of that? Essentially just, descending triangle, right? And then we'll go back up to here. We'll come down a little bit. No, we're not even there yet. And it makes sense because then you can take this one here, put it right there, and then we get back down to this area. So what it's probably doing is, number one, it's going to come up here and retest it as resistance. If it gets rejected, then we can flag out and break out. Or we can just continue back down. Right? So like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Right? And then, continue, we'll build a base, build some support here, and then continue higher. Right? Or lower, depending on, because again, this could be a bigger wave. This could be a B wave, right? We have 3 down. We have 3 up. This could be coming like something pretty nasty, like a bigger wave. And even we have to talk about that with Theta as well, because I mean, we have talked about it, right? Which is 3 down. And this right here is a flat 1, 2, 3 up, and then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, and it becomes like a zigzag. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's always challenging. I wish I could have that crystal ball, but look, you're at point A, point B, point C. You're right in the middle. So we just don't know, but we have a little bit of, I mean, we have a 5-wave move. That's good. We have a 3-wave pullback. That's even better. The only thing I don't like is that this 5-wave move didn't start below this wave. It started above it, which means that this, and this are all part of the same wave. And if you look at that, that's 1, 2, 3. So we really only have 3 waves. Now you could say that this is 4 and 5 and it's truncated, but the other charts aren't rhyming with that. So yeah, you know, they don't make it easy. If they made it easy, everybody would be rich. Everybody would be loaded. Market makers make it very challenging, especially like, you know how robots will take over jobs, right? Well, they're also going to take my job. You can say, how's that possible? Because what's happening is they're using artificial intelligence to actually make, you know, trades, right? Otherwise known as like bots or programs or, you know, things like that, right? So they're basically like little algorithms, little programs, and, you know, the bot trades for you. So over, you know, think about time. Over time, those bots are going to be more and more sophisticated, and they're going to be competing with each other. And then basically nobody's going to be able to compete, because only the rich people are going to have the best of the best of the best of the AI, and those are going to conquer all the bots, right? So when you have regular people trading, it's going to be even more challenging. Now, you're going to still have fear and greed, and still you're going to have the same market cycles, but it's going to be, instead of day trading, it's going to be more for like market cycles, swing trading, you know what I mean? So it's going to be one weird future. So we'll see how that all plays out. But yeah, all these people are moving from analyst to bots. You know, they're constantly testing bots. Some work really well, some don't. Some are very conservative. They're consistent though. They're just all kinds of different ones, all shapes and sizes. Pepe has a interesting little shape. You know, we're working here on a little 3-wave shape. So what I see for Pepe is 3 down. Maybe we get 3 up, boom, 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 and then you come back down and then go. So like a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, go. We already talked about XRP. Yeah, so XRP, it was looking good. Now it's not looking good. We're getting rejected here. We got rejected. So lower high. Let's see if we can figure out what's going to happen there. So looking at like Nereo here, it kind of reminds me of Wyckoff in a way. You know, you got this little range, and you sort of make your way up, and then you come up, and there's your spring. There's the break of the low, your liquidity grab. Here's your impulse. Here's a 3-way pullback. So then the idea would be to get back up here and then continue. If that's not it, then we want to see at least, you know, a 3-way move. 1, 2, 3 to finish up that this whole wave here. So, all right, so let's look at Ethereum and then Bitcoin. With Ethereum, again, you're right in those retracement levels. It's just being, you got to battle them. And it's always one of those things where you just don't know, right? Now, obviously, we're right here between the 618, the 702, and the 78. I mean, those are the king of the retracement levels. 618 through 786. So let the battle begin, right? One thing I can say though is we got a nice three-wave shape. I mean, that's what it. I mean, most of these charts have decent impulses and fairly decent looking three-wave shapes so far, right? They could get bigger like this, coming down to here, getting into that golden zone before going up. It just doesn't look finished to me. It looks like it needs to come down here and then go up. If it is finished, then that's great, but I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it is. This is only 3 here, so we have a bottom, and then you have 3 down, and then you have another, so you have a double bottom here. So it could be 3 up, 3 down, and then 3 back up. And what it could be is some kind of larger A, B, C, you know what I mean? And then go up. So that's kind of what we have to look for. So anyways, let's look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, it's kind of a different animal here. Well, first of all, we have we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this could be A, B, and then C. There's your 3-wave move. So boom, boom, and then boom. I mean, that's kind of how I would think about it. Or you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is maybe even better. So yeah, either one of those. And then if we did have 5, if this was 5, then what do we need? We need 3, which would be something like this. And if we got something like that, what do you think is going to happen to the altcoins? They're going to get crushed. So, I mean, not crushed, but they're going to get some, they're going to have some pretty nasty looking corrections here. Let's see if we can translate that to, let's say, Jupiter. So let's if we can compare that. I forgot to mention something. When you look at Bitcoin on the daily chart, it actually looks pretty bullish. The reason why is the way it's contorting. I mean, look at that. It's actually giving me those that sort of that vibe, where, oh my God, how come I didn't see that before? Look at this, guys. Whoa, what's going on here? Look at this. This is our fractal that we always talk about. Look at this. Let me get it. Let me pull it up here. You're gonna love this. Okay, hold on. Let me. Boom. There we go. You see what I'm saying? Look at that. So, at the end of the day, when you zoom out, this thing should go a lot higher, right? What I was talking about, all of it is the small time frames. So we could have some short-term pain, but it's going to be followed up with some long-term gain. You know what I mean? So no pain, no gain. So yeah, we see this common structure all the time, right? Where you kind of get like a pullback and then like a 1-2. You know, you kind of like rev up the engine a little bit, rev up the engine, and then you blast off, right? You blast off, and then you go boom, 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 bottleneck, break, boom, 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 bottleneck, break, back test, and then kind of just continue higher like that, which is actually pretty incredible. So where did this thing go? It's sort of like, let's do it like this. I'm going to take a fractal. I'm going to take this fractal and I'm going to kind of overlay it. It's not going to be perfect, but you're going to get the idea. So there we go. Wow. Actually, yeah, it looks pretty good. Not too bad. It's kind of big, so it's kind of hard to match it in there. But essentially what we got is you got that, right, that there, then you got that there, right, and then you got the pump, and then you're doing this. So I mean, you know, it looks pretty good. And then you also have this boom, boom, right? So not too bad. Yeah, looks great. So according to this fractal, we should be like on our way soon. I mean, look at this. Actually, it looks really good. Let's see here. I mean, god dang, look at that. I mean, we should be breaking out soon. I mean, this is it. I mean, look at that. And that is according to BCB's drawing too, by the way. I just thought about that. So maybe it looks like he's, you know, if this fractal plays out, he'd be spot on. So you got this kind of move here. So if we kind of take it up like this, right, you can see obviously we kind of pinch in, move up, move down, 1 2 3, 1 2 3, you know, kind of move back down and then kind of hoop around, and then, you know, it's there. It's pretty good. Now if you disregard that wick, it's pretty good. So where's this thing going? Well, we could see 135K. I think we're going to see 125, 120, 130K. I think that's reasonable if this, according to, you know, how long this fractal is, right? I mean, it's a pretty good target to have. So there you go. That's the fractal. There's actually even another one. If we look right here, you can kind of see the little bottleneck right there. Wow, look at this. This is almost better. Maybe not better, but it still looks pretty good. I mean, look at that. So, whoops. So you're revving up the engine. You're revving up the engine, right? You push higher, and then you're kind of like doing this stuff, and then you break out, right? So we'll see, you know, I mean, it looks pretty good. We got two fractals there that sort of paint the same picture. So let me actually screenshot that one. And then you actually have one more fractal, kind of similar, which is this one right here. Now this one's a little bit different. I mean, it's so according to this one, look at that, guys. That one's actually matches up pretty good. According to this one, we should pop the high and then have another dump and then continue higher. I mean, that could be definitely in the cards there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Bitcoin. I know T-Drop had a pretty good move. I haven't looked at it. I mean, it's okay, you know, it pumped up pretty nicely, but I mean, it's still got a lot of work to do. You know, we didn't take the high yet, so we need to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, and then that's kind of how I would look at it. So it kind of looks like maybe some downside coming. I wish this one was actually on an exchange where I can actually trade it, because I would buy it. But yeah, T-Drop looks great. You have your impulse, your accumulation, and it's just about working through these retracement levels, work, and then eventually get out of there. So, Theta Fuel. That's Theta Fuel versus Bitcoin. I don't think we're going to hit 5 trillion, Brad Garlinghouse. I think you're a little bit too bullish. I mean, we could, but I just don't see it. I mean, we would literally have to just take the elevator up, you know. That's what this drawing is. Trying to think here if we can get to almost 5 trillion by January 1st. I just don't think that's the case. Check out gold for a minute. Yeah, gold's pulling back. Got a three-way pullback. I want to see it come back down. ABC. Yeah, XLM versus Bitcoin looks pretty bearish, which means probably we should see Bitcoin breaking out and the altcoins kind of getting left behind for a little while, or at least some of them. Theta versus Bitcoin, let's see. Yeah, it looks a little better. You know, you got that three-way pullback. Kind of needs to consolidate here a little bit. Maybe we get like a ABC and then go, or some type of reaccumulation then go. But I don't know. We'll have to see. It's still early, very early. So, anyways, that'll do it. We're gonna check out the weekly close. Weekly close with XRP looks totally fine. CRV looks pretty good. There's Theta Fuel. Theta Fuel looks pretty good. Again, big weekly dump, retesting these highs, and now it's all about building support on them, and then getting that continuation. Total 3. I mean, this is really the big boy here, you know, because you could see we barely came up to the all-time high. Actually, this is interesting. Okay, so what we need to do for the weekly chart is close. We want a weekly close above the 2021 all-time high close, right? So we're right there. So if I zoom in, I mean, look at that. We're literally right on the line, guys. We're right on the line. So we still have another day left, but yeah, total 3 actually looks pretty good. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice looking ABC. Maybe we pull back a little bit. Maybe we can get us. I would love to see a Sunday pump and get a nice strong pump, you know, to get a nice, a better looking weekly close. I haven't looked at XRP versus Bitcoin in a while. Yeah, it looks pretty much similar to the USD. Kind of like 3 down, 3 up. Maybe you get something like this, like a 1, 2, and then start to curve around. You kind of have a shoulder, a head, another shoulder, something like that. Weekly chart for Bitcoin looks great. This, if we close where we are, it'll be the highest weekly close in Bitcoin's history. Look at that. So it'll be above the previous all-time high close. And Theta has a good weekly close too. Here's the thing with Theta, right? Oh, and there's one more thing I need to show you guys with Filecoin. So again, here's your key area right there. Your sort of that retracement area. And we broke through it, and then or these order blocks, and we came down, we retested it. So as long as we stay above 230, I mean, I think we're good. So I think I was talking about this when I had no audio on my video, and essentially what I was saying is where we pulled back to. So if you look at this area here, another one here, another one here, they're all in the same area. A little bit right there, another one here, right? And then we essentially broke through it, all of those important areas. We broke through it, we came all the way down, we back tested, and now we're holding that area. So as long as we stay above this area, like the mean, this middle area, I think we're good. And that would be, should be like the golden zone. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. That's in the golden zone between the 50 and the 618. Boom, 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 boom. So as long as we stay above that, we're looking pretty good. And I mean, if you look at Filecoin, this is all a bottoming. We're still in the bottoming process, right? We still haven't even broken out of this structure yet. So I mean, you know what I mean? So we haven't even really begun to break out of this thing. So let's see how it plays out. Did I look at dog? I don't think I did. I mean, you know, it still looks okay. You know, it's, you kind of got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe that was the end of this, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some kind of diag, and then you flag out and get destroyed for a little while and then continue higher. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we have another one. See how this is big, this is small, and that's smaller? That's kind of like a diagonal in a way. So if it is a 1, 2, 1, 2, then obviously we need some type of three-way move here. Yeah, it's very early. It's hard to tell right here, because you also have this trend line here, kind of like a cup and a handle, but it's kind of getting pulled back. Another thing too is, like I said yesterday, I didn't like all of these waves. It looked like it was bottlenecking, and a lot of times you just drop through. So I'd like to see a come up and get a retest of that area. But let's see, is Bome any clearer? Yeah, Bome looks more clear. It looks like the other charts. You got more of a three-wave shape. And yeah, it still looks fine. You got that big three-wave move. So either that's going to give us a 3 and then back down to the low, some kind of like Wyckoff thing, and then continue. I mean, that's kind of our best bet, something like that. Right there. Get away from the scene of the crime, build an accumulation structure, and then once that New Year's hit, we are off to the races. So I cannot wait for 2025. I can't wait for Trump to get elected. I can't wait for regulations. I can't wait for Gary Gensler to leave. I can't wait for this crypto explosion that hopefully happens. You just never know, but everything's lining up. The stars are lining up as they should. Things are where they need to be. Just don't know how the deep state's gonna, that whole thing with, the people at the Capitol. I don't even want to say the term on this platform, but you know what I'm talking about. That event that happened on that day at the Capitol building, remember? Turns out that, we've known all along that I think that there's a lot of people who were enticed, and basically you had personal informants, FBI informants in there, and how come they didn't get charged? And there's so many things about it that just doesn't make any sense. And the way they made a big deal out of it, like it was all BS. So anyway, I just think it's funny. That is not a real insurrection. That was a bunch of loonies going in there. But they were just walking around. It wasn't like they had a gun to someone's head saying, hey, we want this country. It's like, come on. Anyways, but I think they're going to make a big deal out of it. They already have, but it's going to come out that it was all BS in a lot of different ways. So yeah, once Trump's in there, I think he's going to really start to accelerate a lot of stuff, and I think that's when they're going to start making their moves. I don't think they're going to do anything now because they couldn't rig the election. It was too big. So we have to wait and see how they respond, because my worry is like some type of black swan event that causes a big crash, destroys the structure. But we know the deep state needs money because they're broke. So what's the best way to generate money? Fast, crypto, right? So yeah, I think it would benefit pretty much both sides. So anyway, that'll do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Hit the like, subscribe. Remember, never financial advice. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.